A few months ago, a company reached out to send me a new battery. As you guys know, we have several motorcycles, and in addition to the normal AGM batteries that motorcycles have come with for the last, I don't know, multiple decades, we've recently been starting to put the anti-gravity lithium batteries in our new bikes, and frankly, they've been fantastic. Well, a company called Acoucou reached out to us because of that and wanted to send us their new battery. And something about it was a little bit different. While I'm only kidding, they did send us one of their new sodium-ion batteries. Now this is different than lead acid or lithium-ion. This is a product that is, for all intents and purposes, pretty new, at least in this small form factor. So this has been sent from Acoucou. This is their sodium-ion battery, and this battery fits our 2023 Moto Morini X-Cape 650 SE, kind of the same as the Kawasaki Versys. And I've been trying it for the last couple months. Really nothing was fancy about installing it. It comes pre-assembled and ready to go. All you do is plop it in. Recommend to charge it up first, but it does come with enough charge to start the bike and go ahead and get riding. Now, when they sent it to me, the actual hardware that was included on it, the bolt and the little nuts underneath, were not quite the right size to be usable on motorcycles. I've contacted the company. They said they agree with me and they've already changed that. So when you order one, it should be totally fine. But that was really the only installation problem I had with this battery. What I did notice was that it was pretty light. Now, I had lithium batteries in my other bikes and I know how light they are. This was, at least the one I got, was pretty equivalent to a lithium battery. Significantly lighter than the lead acid battery that was in the bike to begin with. So for those of you that don't know, sodium ion is kind of the latest iteration of battery technology that's been coming out, and it's gained a lot of momentum in recent years. Well, it is a little bit less energy dense than lithium ion. So an equivalent size lithium ion batteries, or at least equivalent size cells in the batteries, lithium ion is going to be able to output more power. Sodium ion does a little bit better than lead, so it really sits somewhere in the middle as far as power density. It does maintain 250 cold cranking amps, which is significantly more heavy duty than the factory battery that came out of it. The particular battery they sent me for this bike is currently on Amazon for about $45, so really not a bad price. Even when you consider some of the historical lead acid batteries that are out there, that's a pretty good price. And with 250 cold cranking amps, that is more output than most of those even begin to offer. So it's been about a month since I turned this bike on, and in the last week or so, it's been down to freezing at least every night here in Raleigh. So I'm interested to turn this on and kind of see what voltage we have left in the battery and how it starts. You guys can hear that. We're showing right at 12 volts, 12.1 volts. The fuel pump ran in and it dropped down and it dropped right back up. So let's hit that starter and see how quickly it starts. Well, that's not a good sign. Just as soon as I say that, I turn the bike off and turn it back on and hit the starter just to see what happens, and it fires right up. So interestingly enough, after bringing this to your attention, letting the bike sit for 30 seconds, turning the bike off and back on, guess what? Fired right up. So this was something I noticed whenever the bike would sit for a little while, this would be the problem. And by a little while, I mean something as short as a week sitting, it would kind of have this problem on the first start. Weirdly, I could just hit the starter again after I letting it sit for another, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute, and it would fire right up. So the battery wasn't dead, it just had a hard time warming up. There was surprisingly little information, actually there was zero information in the box with this about how sodium ion batteries act as compared to typical lead acid batteries. With the lithium ion batteries, at least from anti-gravity, there was a pamphlet inside that kind of told you what to expect from it, how they might need to warm up the cells a little bit if it was super cold. There's little differences in their behavior. There was nothing like that in the box with this Acoucou sodium ion battery. I did reach out to the company and they finally got back to me. It did take a little while, and they basically confirmed what I had found on my own, that this battery does have a storage issue where when it's sitting for any significant period of time, it will kind of go into a storage mode, and when you turn it back on, it does need to warm up a little bit. So sitting with the lights on, sitting with a little bit of draw from it for a minute or two to let the battery cells kind of start engaging and producing power again is what's necessary to create power. So why choose a sodium ion battery? What are the benefits? First off, at $44 and 250 cold cranking amps, this is a deal. It's really hard to find, even in lead acid, it's hard to find anything that's even relevant or even competitive with that. The typical lead acid batteries are really heavy. Sodium ion, with similar capacity, if they have the same number of cells, it would be just a little bit lighter. They're not dramatically lighter, But in this configuration, just to get the 250 cold cranking amps, the minimum number of cells it needs to do that, it is actually pretty light and pretty competitive with the lithium ion in terms of total weight for the size battery it has, which is pretty impressive. The thermal stability is much greater. They're down to far below freezing to far above any high heat you'd probably experience in the battery section. They last a lot longer, meaning they can do significantly more charge cycles than even lithium ion batteries can. And they are much less sensitive to full deep discharges. So you can run these things down to 0 and they don't degrade the same way lithium does. For adventure bikes, these also have the benefit of being super stable. There is no thermal runaway problems. They are not really as prone to abuse as typical lithium ion batteries are, or even lead acid. They can take vibrations very well. Heat doesn't really matter. They can take a lot of abuse. And although the lithium iron phosphate batteries have gotten a lot better than the old lithium ions did, still when they get damaged or abused, they have the potential for a thermal runaway where they just catch on fire, and we've all seen those videos. The sodium ions claim to not have that issue. The claim of this lasting a lot longer than lead acid or even lithium still remains to be seen. Obviously in a couple months, it's really hard for me to test that. Now, I definitely would look forward to see exactly how long they do last. Generally on the internet, they say these sodium ion batteries last a lot longer than lithium or lead acid batteries. So that $44 seems like it would be well spent for a battery that's going to last you a long time. And with consistent output regardless of temperatures, if you operate in an area where the temperature does vary, especially down to really cold temperatures, both lead acid and lithium have a real problem at cold temperatures where sodium ion doesn't seem to care. Now, I'll leave a link in the description below for both the anti-gravity lithium batteries and this Acoucou sodium ion batteries. Like I said, this is pretty new technology, and as production ramps up and they get a little bit more efficient with production, I imagine these things will become even cheaper and even better. Now, I've never heard of this brand before that sent me this. I don't really know the extent of their battery management software or how extensive it needs to be for this battery. From what I read, these batteries are a whole lot more forgiving for voltage input, both high and low. They charge up real fast. They don't really care if they're deeply discharged. So I imagine it's more easy for more companies to make these things. So what's the verdict? Are these any good? Should you buy them? Well, for $44 and for the amount of power this outputs, it's hard to say no. Realistically, this is a pretty decent battery, and in the several months now and different weather conditions I've had this battery, other than the little storage issue where I might get a no start after turning it on when it's sat for more than a week or so, there really has been no issues. And even in those scenarios, if I turn the bike off and then back on, it would refire. So it's not like the battery has ever died on me in the time I've had it. Frankly, it just works. That's what you want out of your battery. It is not very expensive and it lasts a lot longer in theory, so why wouldn't you try it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I'm Chris. This is 4K Motoring. If you haven't hit that subscribe button and like button already, please do. It helps us out a lot. Leave any questions about these sodium batteries that you have down in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.